But I need 11,000 votes. I want you to find
He said find. He didn't say create. He said find.
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it's not. You don't say on an Easter egg hunt, I want you to create some Easter eggs.
Boys, we have a show here.
All right, Dr. Drew.
Okay.
Boys. I mean, my favorite show of television ever to do was Politically Incorrect.
Which you stole. This is exactly what it looked like, except the difference was Politically Incorrect was purposely mixing people with different viewpoints.
Which is what we're doing
tonight.
Yes. This is why it doesn't work.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? We have Greg Gutfeld, and he is going to be setting... Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Today, we have Greg Gutfeld, and he is going to be setting Bill Maher straight, basically on his Trump derangement syndrome. It is very glaring, and it is very personal with Bill Maher. He gets called on that beforehand, and Dr. Drew Pinsky kind of lets him off a little bit. But this is from Benny Johnson's show, as you can tell on the screen. Link to his page in the description. It is pretty good. Benny does fight the good fight. So let's get into this.
That's why we were extremely... happy and encouraged when we saw that Bill Maher was going on Greg Gutfeld's show on Fox News. Bill Maher, Greg Gutfeld clash on Fox News. We got agree on some things, but not the most important thing. I think that Greg Gutfeld definitely got the best of Bill Maher, and I got to tell you, these clips are really inspiring to me because they show what happens when there's a power dynamic shift and when logic and a freedom, the opinion of freedom first is overbalanced against leftist tyranny. Bill Maher representing left-wing tyranny and Trump derangement syndrome, and he was outnumbered, and that's awesome. It's all across all of media, the opposite is true. You'll never see Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, anybody bring on anyone they might even remotely disagree with. There was a time when Republican presidential candidates were invited on Saturday Night Live because we thought it was a good thing to like make fun of each other or talk. That's the biggest, most corrosive thing that's happened, and it's nice to see that hopefully repaired. Of course, it must end in the woke moment. The woke moment is about silencing people. And so this is a very positive and good thing, but I got to tell you, Greg Gutfeld got the best of Bill Maher here. Let's begin. The opening shot across the bow. Trump the insurrectionist. Here we go.
On the scales, New York Times bestseller author, Fox News contributor, Welcome to the show, Bill.
Thank you.
So far, so fun?
I have a few quibs.
Okay, go for it. Quib away, Mr. Quib.
Well, I mean, I agree that it's great that we're talking. I agree that we agree on some things. We're not exactly aligned on the most important things, which is basically Trump is someone who does not concede elections. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You don't seem to see it that way. That's the most important thing that's going on in this country. He didn't concede the last election. He's not going to concede this election.
You don't know that. You don't see into the future, Bill. I don't see your crystal ball.
Yeah, I did, because I was the only one who was talking about that way back when, and everybody said, oh, you smoke too much pot. Turned out I smoked just the right amount of pot.
There's no right amount.
But can you really picture this guy going, you know what, I lost, that's it.
He did. He left.
He left because he had to leave, because he couldn't.
Yes.
Okay, every president that loses office or finishes out their 2 terms has to leave. Okay, do you think Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or hell, even Bush would have left? Okay, if they said, you know what, you can just sign this paper or do a little bit of this, or we can throw something into court and you won't have to leave. Do you honestly think they would have left?
But that's how it works.
Well,
what do you think he's going to like board up the White House? Pull a straw dogs with Dustin Hoffman?
Well, last time he thought the other Republicans would back him up. When he called that guy in Georgia and said, I need 11,000 votes, I want you to find.
He said find. He didn't say create. He said find.
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it's not. You don't say on an Easter egg hunt, I want you to create some Easter eggs.
Boys, we have a show here.
All right, Dr. Drew.
Okay.
Boys. I mean, my favorite...
Now, this is the part of the show where Dr. Drew has to turn everything back on him because nobody's looking at him enough. Hit me up in the comments if you think Dr. Drew is a piece of human filth. Honestly, this man has been infecting the airwaves for about 30 years now. He is absolutely nothing but a complete piece of human filth. I've said that before, and you know what? It's the one thing that's going to come out again. But hey, hit me up in the commentary if you want to hear 20 minutes of me telling you why Drew Pinsky, okay, is a piece of crap.
favorite show of television ever to do was politically incorrect.
Which you stole. This is exactly what it looked like, except the difference was politically incorrect was purposely mixing people with different viewpoints.
Which is what we're doing
tonight.
Yes. This is why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No.
It's such a important exchange there. So that salvo is really important. So let's jump into it. So the first thing that Bill Maher says is that Donald Trump didn't concede. Well, nobody conceded the George W. Bush election. We have hours of footage of Democrats saying that Al Gore won that election, that it was stolen, including presidents like Bill Clinton saying that it was stolen, Terry McAuliffe saying it was stolen, Hillary Clinton saying it was stolen, Joe Biden saying it was stolen. So they didn't concede that election. They contested that election. And then they contested Donald Trump's election in 2016. And all those members of Congress still exist. So Bill Maher is, again, using different measuring sticks for different parties. He didn't call out Hillary Clinton when Hillary Clinton said that she's the president. He didn't call out Stacey Abrams when she said she's the governor of Georgia. So Bill Maher wants to have it both ways. And then he wants to silence. And this is what I think is really important. This is why Bill Maher, he might speak out against the woke, but it's just a shtick. He doesn't actually believe any of that stuff. He is the woke. Bill Maher doesn't want concession from Donald Trump.
And first off, let me break in here for just a second. Yeah, that is absolutely the truth, okay? Bill Maher started off, as far as politically incorrect was concerned, as calling himself a libertarian. He has now switched to calling himself a classical liberal. He is neither, okay? He is a leftist maggot of the highest order. I'm sorry, that's exactly the way I'm putting it, all right? He is that guy that wants to be thought of as edgy amongst his peer group. So that's why he cops to being something other than the leftist scum that he actually is. So that's that right here. But Bill Maher, like all leftists, okay, is a creature of the left before he is anything else. All right, and then he wants to promote his leftism. So that's basically how Bill Maher works, and that's how all leftists works. This is the kind of hypocrisy and goalposting that leftists always work with.
Donald Trump left office and handed over power. That's the way it's supposed to work. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you have to get on your knees and grovel. Bill Maher wants Donald Trump, wants to break Donald Trump, and wants to humiliate Donald Trump, wants to force words into Donald Trump's mouth. That's woke. That's forcing speech. Bill Maher is a fraud. He has full-blown Trump derangement syndrome. And this is a proof positive. Because the constitutional mechanisms worked. Donald Trump handed over power. Okay? And then the government went, horribly so, to Joe Biden, and the results have been disastrous. But what Bill Maher wants is not that. He wants to break Trump. He wants Trump on his knees groveling to him.
Bill Maher will also not cop to the fact that the mass media or the mainstream media basically did a full court press against Donald Trump during that election. That can be considered an election interference. Honestly, here in my home state of Maryland, I mean, they were actually trucking votes out of Cecil County into Philadelphia. Okay, tell me how that's not weird. Tell me how vote drop-offs to voting places that are supposed to be shut down for the weekend. How is that kosher? So again, there's a lot of things wrong, okay, with 2020, and anybody who does not want to cop to that is just seriously just not looking at the facts.
Because he wants to have full and total power. So it's forced speech. Nothing in the Constitution says that you need to apologize or whimper. Okay? Donald Trump did his constitutionally mandated duty. The end. That's it. Nobody says you have to like.
Okay, Donald Trump did a little bit of extra. I'm not saying extra legal. Okay, he pushed some legal things a little bit, and that's probably why it gave the left the space that it needed to worm their way in with the lawfare that they've been able to accomplish. So, let's not do the constitutional duty and go a little bit crazy on this one, okay? If you disagree, hit me up in the comments.
It. All right? And I certainly don't. So let's continue here. And by the way, Gutfeld getting the best of him to being like, this is why it doesn't work to have people like you on the show, because you don't live in reality, and you have if you didn't have double standards, you have no standards at all.
It does feel personal about Trump with Bill.
It's not.
It feels that way.
No, I
not
don't think so.
personal.
No. It's just a difference of opinion.
He did sue me.
View.
Did he sue you?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Really?
No.
He
Here in
sued you?
news?
Yes.
Yes, he was in news that mattered. Nobody gives a shit, okay, that Trump sued you over one of your bad jokes, okay? This is the problem with Bill Maher, okay? It is personal with Bill Maher, all right? When there is a Democrat in office, when Democrats in power, Bill Maher is considered one of the intelligentsia. People refer to him. He is invited places. People talk to him and revere him, okay? When Trump's in office, Trump treats him like he actually is, okay, a two-bit comic, okay, that did well. All right. And I'm telling you this, okay, knowing full well that at one point in time, there was a videotape in my collection, an old videotape. I mean, one of those old TDKs that weighs about 5 pounds. Okay. One of those. And I had every appearance of Bill Maher ever. I love Bill Maher. All right. And then all of a sudden, during the politically incorrect, during that whole thing with the 9/11 attacks and all that kind of stuff, it just showed me that he's basically just pushing buttons just to keep himself in the limelight. And I mean, that's all this is happening right now, as far as him copying to any type of common sense within his political leanings, okay? He's right up there with Cenk and Anna Kasparian, okay? They're all just pulling an angle.
I don't follow everything in your life, Bill.
Well, that was kind of... Yes, he sued me because I said he possibly was the son of an orangutan. Because we showed the picture, he looks exactly like the hair color. It looks exactly like an orangutan.
You know what's interesting as far as it pertains to Orange? He's always been the stand-up politician, right? But
okay, I'm actually going to go through this because I cannot stand this man's voice. Okay, so we're just going to pop off at everything that this piece of crap says.
he realizes that he's winning. I think that's bothering you, Bill.
Well, it is bothering me because, again, he's an insurrectionist who doesn't believe in democracy, so of course it's bothering me. And of course he's also insane and a criminal and stupid.
And you are a leftist that believes in socialism and uses democracy as a shield in order to push your leftist ideals, okay? We all see it, Bill. Just shut up.
except for that, Bill.
But I got to say,
That I'll vote for him.
like, what works for him, like when that clip you just showed, I mean, look, he's almost the same age as Biden, but Biden presents as old.
Yeah.
Ancient.
Yeah.
That does not look old.
No, it doesn't.
He does not present as old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like Kiss. He puts on the wig and the face paint, and it's 1976 all over again.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. So the conversation actually got into moments of agreement later on in the conversation. It was kind of interesting. They obviously very much disagreed on Trump, but Bill Maher's positions are total straw man positions that can be blown over like with a right.
Can you just calm down, Bill?
We will get you back.
but
I don't think people are
now I understand all the rumors about you are true.
I don't know what that means. Like, we are polarized. I don't think we can deny that. The point is that we can also be friends. That's
Yeah.
it. We can't. Let's not.
Okay, and here is where Bill Maher joins what I call the Broken Clock Club, okay? People that are right at least twice a day. And that's it, okay? We can all get along. I mean, I have people that I know and absolutely and utterly love. I have shared my homes with people who are complete creatures of the left, and I love them to dear. They're my dearest friends, and we disagree on certain things. But when it comes right down to the fact, we're all human beings, you know what? And we all have the same wants and needs. And when we sit in a room and we talk, if we leave politics out of it, you would be surprised how much we all have in common and how much we all do get along. It's absolutely amazing, and it's disgusting, okay, what the mainstream media and leftist politics has done to this country, because it is their fault and no one else's.
Let's not pretend that these disagreements are not profound. Let's just say, okay, they are profound, but you know what? There's 90 other things we could talk about which we wouldn't disagree on. And I can't hate you. I've said it a million times. You can hate Trump. You can't hate all the people who like him. It's half the country.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not blind to Donald Trump's faults. I get it, why people choose to vote for him. You know, somebody who's conservative once said to me, what you don't get, you liberals don't get about Trump, is that we don't like him either. We just see him as a bulwark against the nonsense on the left. And I understand that, because there is a lot of nonsense on the left, and that's in my book too.
Like I can actually agree with that. Like I say this all the time. You don't have to like Trump. You don't have to worship Trump. I think the people that actually worship Trump, I think that's wrong.
The people that worship Trump are a little bit weird. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there right now. Sorry. I like Trump. I really do. I like Trump a heck of a lot more now than I did then. Back in 2016, Trump was like 5th on my list as far as who I would support for president. And there was a Democrat in there now, and I can't even remember his name. Hit me up in the comment. It was the one that said the enemy that he was most proudest of defeating was the guy that threw the hand grenade at him. I can't remember his name to save my life. But anyway, no. But I grew to like Trump because, again, one thing I can tell you about Trump, okay, is that he loves his country, okay? And guess what? That's what I do too, okay? I tossed away an entire football team and hundreds of dollars of memorabilia, okay? Because I like my country a heck of a lot more than I like a sports team or anything else, okay? And that is the one thing that I can get from him, okay? And if that's if that's the only thing is, that's enough for me to support him.
Right? Like, he's a man, just like everybody else is a man, not a deity. It's really important to not see your political, to see politicians as deities. Like, that's bad. They did that to Barack Obama. Look where that got us. It's okay to be like, Donald Trump's my man, because Donald Trump has the same enemies I do. And that Donald Trump sees the world the same way that I see the world. And that Donald Trump wants to break systems that deserve to be broken. You don't have to like everything about Donald Trump. I don't think there is anybody on earth who likes everything about Donald Trump. Like, you just have to have the same enemies, right? You just have to have the same people that you're marching against. And that's enough, right? And the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? And so...
Well, I mean, you know, that kind of got us the Soviet Union, because Patton was right. We should have turned around and attacked the Soviets, because he knew exactly what was going to happen. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. That's about enough of this. This has been Greg Gutfeld, basically putting Bill Maher in his place on live TV. And, you know, it's a good thing to have this kind of discussion. It's a good thing to have your guys put in a position where they're questioned. I wouldn't mind seeing Gutfeld on Bill Maher show and see how he handles himself amongst all the leftists that Bill Maher surrounds himself with. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been great. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe, guys. Please subscribe, okay? And hit those comments. Some of you guys have been making some great comments. The positives and the negative ones. I get a kick out of the negative ones as well. So you know what? Get them. I don't care. Send them in. All right. So thank you all again for joining me today. Later.